So we are back in the studio here today, and we have just finished a 48 hours filmmaking challenge. That is really our breakthrough, I would say. And now the film is submitted all over to International Film Fest. Congratulations to our team in MC Square Production. So today, this session, we want to discuss about most crucial ingredients, which is the story. How can we actually have a story in such a short span of time? So today we have Iman, the writer and as well as the actress, who's going to share us how she wrote a film script in just 3 hours. So you guys would really want to know how you can write a short film script in 3 hours. So this is a video that you're going to finish watching, right? So Iman, tell us, how did you actually manage to came up with a script in just a short span of 3 hours?
Actually, the process happened before that. Actually, from the beginning and everything, I already had this story on my mind about 2 years.
Oh, so you have a structure, you have a storyline. That what you're trying to say is actually you must pick something that you are familiar with. That
yes.
means like it's either something that you experience yourself, or either your friends, or whether it's based on your observation. Is that right?
Yes. So
okay.
I have this story for the longest time, and it's actually based on true story from, yeah, I wouldn't tell you which one. It's the personal experience of my friends. But yeah, I actually had a structure on my mind before I wrote that in 3 hours.
Oh, so that means you have pre-written it in your mind. So,
yeah, but it's just on my mind, not, I never write anywhere about that, never.
Okay, but that is something which happens in your mind. How do you put it on paper? Because on paper it sounds different, because you need to kind of like plot the storyline, like you need to set up the scenes, like because I'm sure the story can go all day long from never-ending story. So how do you manage to put a storyline that you have in your mind, a personal experience that you have in your mind, into scenes that fit into a short film of probably 7 to 8 minutes? Yeah. What is the essence of that?
It's actually something like, you know, jigsaw puzzle.
Okay.
It's already have this thing on my mind, and that moment I just need to arrange it back nicely, and based on my experience as producer as well in this company, so I know which location that I should use, which location that I don't need to pay extra, or whatever that suits my story, you know, that kind of thing. So it's kind of challenging, because I need to think as a producer as well while I wrote that script. So it's very challenging.
Well, I think that's a really good point, where you actually come from a producer point of view that you need to complete a film in 48 hours, so you write a script based on the experience, based on your personal story and your experience as a producer, how to put your personal story into your producer's perspective, where you need to minimize location, minimize talents, dialogue. Is that right?
Yes, yes. Because everything included.
So that means that that's a very crucial point here. I think that is making sense, that we need to finish a film in just 48 hours. That includes of writing, shooting, and editing and submission. So 48 hours is such a short time span, plus resting hours. So I think it is a really good point where she just highlighted, which is you need to have a personal story, where a personal story can be very long, can include many locations, can include many dialogues and people. But because of a producer experience, she minimized all these little things into a most straightforward, but it managed to tell the story and fit the objective of finish this film and tells the story that you want to tell, right?
Yeah. So as experience as the producer and as editor as well, so I can visualize nicely what's the story will be like.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, thanks to MC Square for, you know, give me this opportunity all this while. producing, editing, and everything, so I can see a bigger picture when I wrote that script. Yeah, it's really helpful.
Cool.
Yeah.
So just touch a little bit more about a deeper in sense of the script writing, because you actually went off from the team for approximately 3 hours to sit alone to write your script. So can you share us the experience in that 3 hours, that period of time, that 3 hours? What actually happened in terms of your enlightenment, the ideas that came into your mind, and what do you do in terms of coming up with this written script?
So yeah, I ran off from the team about 3 hours. It's not that I don't want to work as a team, but it's just that when you write, you need to be alone, because you need to, dig deeper into your head. Everything that you compartmentalize all this while, you need to dig and you need to sort it out and just throw it in the script. So it's just that I just need to be alone so I can arrange my jigsaw puzzle nicely.
Well,
So,
what about emotions? How do you dig and write emotions into your script? Because emotion plays a very important role in terms of delivering a film. Because if there's no emotions, if you don't feel the emotion in writing, I don't think you manage to feel the emotion in the film. So what is the trick of writing the emotions into the script?
as I said, when I go through all the things on my head,
Yeah, in your head, yeah.
Yeah, when I go through all the things in my head, it's like, yeah, you can feel the emotion when you revisit your old memories, old memories, something like when your friends telling you stories or something that you experienced personally. So it's like, at that moment, you really feel the emotion, because I really write what I feel. What I feel doesn't mean it's my own thing, doesn't mean I go through all that. It's just that when people tell me stories, I really feel their stories.
So
it's all about emotion as well.
So that means you're saying if you were to write a script, you have at first need to actually have a personal story that is genuine.
Yes.
That makes it easier. And secondly, you write something which is deeply touch you emotionally.
Yeah.
So while you feel all these, you write it down on paper. Am I right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because sorry to interrupt, because in a short time, you cannot write something else. You cannot write something that you imagine, something that happened, because you cannot feel that. Imagination is something, you cannot feel.
Mm-hmm.
Imagination is something else. So, and some more very short timing, you need to write something that you yourself can feel the emotion.
Right.
So I sacrifice a lot of things, meaning that I'm opening up part of myself when I wrote that script.
So it's really about, not that you cannot write something which is imaginary. It's just that in a short span of time, when you want to finish a script in such a short span, 2 to 3 hours, you really need to dig out your personal experience, the story that you have observed before in your entire life, and then just put it on paper. And then just use your filmmaking skills, collaborating with the director to execute and things like that to actually make your film into life, right?
Yes, and I'm very thankful when the director executed what's on my mind. It's really perfect.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah,
so
thankful for that.
So what do you have to tell the audience that is wanting to become a writer? Certain tips that you actually can share with the audience who want to be a writer. What can you share with them? Few tips or whatever it is.
I will just quote words from my idol, someone that I really admire,
And who's this person?
is Allahyarham Yasmin Ahmad.
Oh, wow.
I really love her and I really miss her. So before this event, actually I go through her old videos and her writing and everything. So I remember what she said, that write what you feel. So it will be very easy for you to write, because you write your feeling, your own feeling. Yeah.
So
something
let's
like that.
elaborate more about that. Write what you feel. You say write what you feel. So how do you trigger that kind of moments?
Your past experience, your past traumas, your, you know, stories.
What about feeling about something? I mean, even if it's not your past experience, if say you observe something currently, like you observe the environment, the society, the people around.
Yeah.
Are you saying that if we observe them and we have a perception on what we feel about the environment and as well as the people, you can literally write something about it?
Yeah. I think you just need to be more observant with your surroundings, people around you, because every person have their own story, own journey in this life, and you must see it from different perspective. You know, you don't simply judge people when they tell you a story. You simply, for me, when people tell me stories, I feel like it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful journey for them in this life.
Right, that means it also can be that writer personal perspective point of view, where when someone tells you a story, you can actually elaborate it in a negative way if
Yeah.
you're a person who is thinking negative and see things negative on the dark side. So the things you write out is mainly a dark side of the person, where the story comes out very gloomy and dark and sad or emotional. But
Yes.
on the other hand, if you choose to be someone which is standing on a perspective on the other end, where you see a person which is more of the good side, bright side, you will manage to write a story of the bright side, which means that inspires me in terms of, it depends on where you tend to stand as a writer. Am I right?
Yes.
If you want to write a gloomy story or a sad story, then you need to actually fall yourself into the person's bad experience, bad memories, bad emotions.
Yeah.
And then if you want to write a good ending or a good plot, a good build-up, then you have to dig out all these perspectives where you see this person as a good side, a happy journey of this person, right?
Yeah. I need to get into her character or his character when I write the script. I need to really dig. Maybe they haven't shared me the whole story, but I just need to feel their emotion, feel everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I wrote that script. Maybe this is my own process, you know.
Wonderful. So I think that's all for our sharing session today, and I hope audience, you guys get a great perspective on how do you actually can be a writer. Writing can be very simple. It's about what Iman says. It's about observation. It's about personal experience, personal feeling. How do you see the world, the society? So yeah, and that's our session for today. It is inspiring, and hopefully you guys get something about writing, and if you guys want to start writing, these are very good tips sharing from our writer today. Alright, so thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.